Everyone, welcome to the 11th episode of F2F Adopts. Myself Debron, and this is Dubai. Cool. So, in this particular episode, we'll be talking about quality assurance checks which a campaign manager does regarding a launching of a new campaign. So, apparently, there are one, two, three important, very much important and compulsory QA checks which a campaign manager needs to do, and there's one optional. Now, which one is the optional and why a quality check is optional? We'll be talking about all of these 3+1 quality checks today. So, when a campaign manager receives a new campaign, the media plan, the briefing from the media planners, once these details are shared with the campaign manager starts setting up the campaign in the tool, whether it is DFA or whether it is MediaMind. He starts setting up the campaign in the tool. In other words, we call it as trafficking the campaign. Now, first of all, the first check which a campaign manager, or the first barrier QA which a campaign manager does, is checking the assets, QAing the assets, whether they are as per the specs for that particular dimension, whether the campaign manager has received all the required dimensions from the creative agency and nothing is missing, the campaign is ready to go live after that. So these are the two checks which the campaign manager does upon receipt of the assets. First one is to check whether the specs are good or not. So, and the second one is whether the campaign manager has received all the banners or there are still something pending. When it comes to checking the specs, apparently the campaign manager needs to check 6 parameters, very important 6 parameters. The first one is the flash version. Apparently, the flash version should be 8 or 9. This is the widely acceptable flash formats. Though in some cases it can be 10, but the let's say accepted flash version by most of the publishers are 8 or 9 as of now. Borders should be present, irrespective of whether the whether the banner is dark themed visual or it is light themed. There needs to be a border, a 1 pixel border on all the 4 sides. That is very important because that helps the content and the ad. Let's say that acts as a separation between the content and the ad. Third one is click tags, very important. In some media agencies, the campaign managers actually deal with several ad servers, and though most of them have a very unified click tag to use, some of the ad servers demand using, or let's say having, their own click tag implemented. For example, Sysmeq has their own click tag which is preferred in all the, let's say, banners executed through this particular ad server. Whereas DFA, you can use the get URL, the usual click tag. This is very important. If the spec sheet says MediaMind or Sysmeq click tag needs to be implemented, the banners needs to have them, because if they don't, there's a possibility of discrepancies or technical issues later when the campaign is live. And if this click tag is, let's say MediaMind click tag is not implemented, we will have very less strong words to defend ourselves, because that can be a very possible reason of discrepancy. Next one is the weight of the creative. So the let's say a spec for 728 by 90 is the weight should be less than equal to 40 KB. Now it should be less than equal to 40 KB. If it is more, well, the banner will be executed. The banner still can go live and has its effect on the online world. But the thing is that there might be additional let's say ad serving fees because it is more than 40 KB or because it is more than 50 KB or 100 KB. So in order to counterattack that, as per the specs, if the spec says 40 kb, the banner needs to be less than or equal to 40 kb. The next one is the CTA button or close button. If it is a rich media execution, let's say an expandable banner, so the expanded banner should have a close button, or else even in some cases it might have close button, but still there might be other logic like hover to expand and move out to collapse. So yes, so close button should be there on rich media banners. And CTA, a CTA button is always preferred, even if your ad says like participate in our contest and you can win this much gold, this much car, this many gifts and all the stuff. At the end of the ad, if there is no click here or click here to participate or something like that, just a couple of words which acts as a call to action, your performance on the ad might suffer. So a CTA button is very important. The last one is looping nature of the ad, whether the banner is auto looping, whether the banner is let's say looping on only for a particular amount of time and then it stops. Looping is very important because some of the publishers, some of the let's say publishers, portals, they permit looping only up to a particular time period, let's say 15 seconds or 30 seconds. After that they don't accept any kind of looping. So these are the 6 very important QA parameters for checking of the banners. Another one, as I said, on receipt of the banners, the campaign manager needs to check whether he or she has received all the banners required for that particular launch. To some extent, it is still okay if he or she has received one set of creatives. The rest can come after, let's say, a day or two. But please try, dear media planners who is listening to me, please try that the banners, or the creative agencies also who is listening to me, please try the banners reach the media agency in maximum 3 days time, maximum. If you can send it across in one shot, all in a zip, too good, a pat on your back. Yes, so this is the first set of QA which a campaign manager does while launching a campaign. This was the queuing of banners segment. Next one is once the campaign is set up, so placements are created, banners are uploaded, ads are created, landing pages are assigned, and let's say last but not the least, tags are generated. Now in this particular phase there's another QA which needs to be done, that is the, let's say, setup QA. So you have done your work, now someone else in your team needs to check whether the work is perfect or not, because if there are any persisting issues, and the issues are not very much technical or very much let's say massive which might happen, it can be small issues like you missed adding a landing page URL to a particular dimension. It can be as trivial as, let's say, or it can be slightly major, like you actually assigned 2 banners of 2 different visuals into the same placement, whereas it shouldn't happen like that. So these kind of checks can be done by another campaign manager. You're supporting your partner, and apparently these kind of issues can be counter-attacked and solved before the campaign goes live. The third one is generation of tags. So once the banners are QA'd, the campaign is set up and the tags are generated. Sorry, campaign is set up and the tags are generated. The last leg of QA by a campaign manager is very important. This particular leg, which is the QA, apparent or superficial check of the tags, or whether the banners are showing up properly, whether it's clicking properly, whether it's going to the correct landing page. This last leg is important. So this was the third segment of QA which a campaign manager needs to do. So in this discussion, in this video, we had a discussion on the different types of QA. The first one is the banners QA. Once the campaign manager receives the banners, the QA after that. Quickly, the sub QA for banners would be checking whether we have received all the banners or not, all the creatives from the creative agency or not. If not, we need to highlight them. to our respective media planners or the creative agencies. The second sub QA point is whether they are according to specs. Once this banner QA is done, the next comes setup of the campaign and QAing of it. So once the campaign is set up, your partner campaign manager needs to QA it as to assure that everything has been trafficked properly and everything is good from our end to go live. Third is the queuing of the tag. It's a very quick process. It's a very superficial process just to check whether the banners are good or not. The tags are showing up well or not. They're clicking well or not. And yes, so in this third leg, the tags QA, you actually come across those points where you actually missed creating a click tracker. Suppose for a placement you need to create click tracker and impression tracker, and you actually missed creating a click tracker, for example. So in this particular leg you will be coming to know like, okay, I missed it. So you can quickly do it again and share the tags with the creative agency if required, or with the portal directly. Now this one optional QA which I was talking about, QA of the media plan. A campaign manager is not supposed to do QA of a media plan as a hard and fast rule. The media plan is prepared by the media planners. They should be booking the media plans into their agency booking tool. In some agencies, in some organizations, this particular responsibility is taken care by the campaign managers, which is really wastage of time, I believe. If they are doing it, then additional QA of media plan comes into picture. So checking the media plan whether calculations are okay or not, checking the media plan whether the formulas are okay or not, whether the dimensions mentioned and the dimension name which is mentioned, they are matching or not. Because believe me, I've seen a couple of media plans where the dimension name is skyscraper and the dimension size in brackets it's mentioned 728 by 90. Idiotic. Yeah. Anyway, so these stuff can be needs to be checked by the campaign managers. Cool. Yes. So these are the 3+1 optional QA checks which a campaign manager does while launching a campaign. Thanks for watching this video. This is the 11th video, and if you haven't watched the rest 10, click my playlist right now and view the rest of them. You can suggest, you can comment, you can ask me anything in the comment section below, or you can just send me an email. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day ahead and a career too. Bye bye.